Hi, um, thanks for tuning in. If it's your first time here, my name is Dylan Hickey, otherwise called Nirmal. Um, what I'm going to say is, if if my appearance, if there brings up questions, I fell when I was playing. I was 16, and I was playing in a tree, and I fell, and I broke my neck. And since then, I've been around and lived. I'm 53 now, so yeah, I've lived quite a life, and yeah, a lot of adventures and cool stuff. Anyway, I plan to get on to all of that stuff in various videos to come. Uh, If this is coming up, you're going to see a doctor's appointment that happened today. Um, I don't know. It is what it is. I don't. You can watch it for yourself and see. But I don't. Yeah, I don't get much from my doctors these days in terms of other than medications and yeah. I guess I could make another video analyzing this conversation. Maybe I will, and letting you know how I feel and what about what's being discussed. Anyhow, watch. I'm posting it just for content and because it reflects real reality for me. So right now, I'm not saying it will be the same tomorrow, but it reflects my day today. This was an appointment I had at 4 p.m. today. Went on for like 45 minutes or so. It was on the phone, no Zoom. It was just a phone appointment. Yeah, he's a fairly new doctor for me. I've had him for like 4 months maybe. He's a young doctor. Uh, yeah, doesn't have a lot in the way of knowledge about spinal cord injury. Um, but who does, right? They're all kind of fishing in the dark at this point to some degree about what I'm going through, which is like a nerve, kind of a nerve sensation overload in my legs. It just started, and it's like, yeah, it responds to every little move and touch, and makes my life difficult. Just for only that reason, everything else is okay, pretty much. All right, I better get going and enjoy the video. Give it a like if you want. Comment. Share it if it's strange enough for you. No need to share that, but yeah, you can. It's. I'll be making a lot more happy, positive content. It's not like there's anything unhappy or it's just, yeah, it's a day. It's a day. A doctor's appointment. Here you go. All right, bye. No, it's been difficult. It's been difficult. The good news is I'm starting to get my caregiver caregiver situation under better, uh, control. So, so, but the pain is, the nerve pain is very high. I guess you've been updated on what the situation with regard to the meds and what I thought, what I had tried and what I hadn't tried and what I where I'm at with that. Were you up? I did call a few times. Yeah, I tried. That was I was no, it was by 50, but that was it's too much. What I found was 50 on one. It's more like 50 on a day, which it turns out to be too much for a day to drop down 50 on a day. So I I did discover that dissolving a 100 into a water solution, which is it is pretty reliable. I can do quantity to quantity ratio, and I can reduce by 10% or specific, pretty accurate to within 2 milligrams or so amount per dosage per day or whatever per unit of time. And yeah, so this time if and when I try to do this again, I'm gonna plan it on a computer chart, very detailed for months in advance. Um, yeah, I'm not gonna do it like haphazardly. Uh, that's correct. That's correct. Um, well, there's no other choice. If if I do plan to go down, is there? I mean, yeah, yeah. Well, right, right. If I did a plan, the plan I had talked to my dad about was something like I do something like um, 10 milligrams every other day for either 1 week or 2 weeks, and then 10 milligrams every day for either 1 week or 2 weeks, and then do 20 milligrams every other day for the same period, something like that, and see how that went, or maybe even less than that. It would be nothing more than that for sure. Yeah, so something it would be something to that effect, but I don't know. It's just because I've been going for a fairly long period of time with this 800, and it really is the same battle every every time. Um, I come to the time of my pills, it becomes a struggle, an intense struggle, and 2 hours in advance of it, and it's not getting. It's like a ratcheting effect. It's not getting any easier. So if anything, it's getting more. The effect is increasing over time. When I tried to increase gabapentin, it did not feel any better. They increased the occurrence of AD. I don't know if it was because, but it's also a ratchet effect because it's harder to go back down once I go up again. So I would just as soon stay at 800 than go up, and then going down. Like I said, I've tried with the 50. I'm not being irrational or stupid about it. I tried and was unsuccessful. Went back and been back up for about a month at 800 steady. Um, Now I'm starting to just do some experiments with dissolving and just seeing, getting the measurements just right. But that's where I'm at with that. I contemplated for a time, taking the route of my friend who is also a spinal cord injury, not as high level as myself. Um, his doctor, I've been talking to him for the last maybe 5. Well, he's been my friend for maybe 10 years, but about this, he's been saying, "Oh, he's going out in the community. Just take." I told you about him. I think. With the gabapentin, he's like 300 milligrams over the maximum allowable doses by his doctor, and he's also taking, I think, the way he said, 6 medium strength Percocets per day. So he's like, oh yeah, just you have to do what you have to do to go out and let's go out for a coffee. But I can see his intellect, his mind, dwindling as the time goes by. At least I still have a very sharp mind, but I don't want to lose that, and I feel like every time I reduce the gabapentin, even by a little, my mind it gets sharper. So it's like, yeah, I would like to just stay inside. I'm okay with that. I've seen enough of the world. I've been an adventurous folk in my life. I haven't, I've done that. I'm okay with that, and I don't mind staying home. I do want to go out, but not at the expense of ramping up the pain meds constantly and continuously. But at sometimes I gotta be honest with you, the pain is so high. I'm just like, it takes a lot to fight it, right? And to keep my mind strong. But I pray a lot, and have my ways that I'm developing over time of doing it, of being able to do it. But yeah, I'm just hoping that with prayer and with my concentrated thought, that I'll be able to have my body, my brain adapt to it in some ways. Whereas instead of just encountering it and being afraid of it all the time. But yeah, I haven't. You've been here with me the ride for a little while. Yeah, that's where it is right now.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's very well. And I know that we also talked about those referrals you
Yeah,
want.
yeah, y-
So, so you're on the wait list for counseling here, which again is a long way off because we only have the one counselor. There's
oh,
a
is
long
that
wait
right?
list.
Wow.
There is a long wait list, yes. But you're on it, and you've been on it for a couple months already,
Okay,
so
good,
it's
good,
not
good.
as long as it was.
That's good.
Um, but so the last, so you in your email you mentioned that you wanted a referral to Dr. Roberts, was it? So Robertson?
Robertson. Well, it doesn't have to be him, but yeah, I had developed somewhat of a relationship with him.
Yeah. It sounds like when he last saw you, so this was back in March.
Yes,
Uh, it sounds like you were actually discharged from the clinic.
that's right.
Is that right?
I had a I don't know. He contacted me at a particularly challenging time, let's just say, and
Yeah.
um, I didn't feel like the whole, not him per se, but just the way that the program was geared toward was considerate toward me. Like if I didn't, if I wasn't, if I was having a medical challenge at the moment, I couldn't postpone it to any time soon, right? So I had to take it, and if I was in the middle of a crisis, then I had to take the call, right? And
Yeah.
then he would contact me and say, "Is it okay if so and so colleague is here along for the?" And then it put me on the spot, and then I'd have to be the grump and say, "No, I don't want so and so along," And I just felt it was inconsiderate for him to even come in to the appointment and not give me some heads up that he was going to bring someone with him. And so I was already initially not very accepting of the fact that he was there for me as a counselor, right? It was more like I was part of an experiment or something, or part of a research project, and or part of a training scenario, or something to that effect. So I didn't feel like a patient doctor, kind of relationship at that moment, or counselor or whatever, counselee, and yeah, so I reacted. I probably overreacted, but I thought as a counselor he would be able to, sort of see my way of reacting. But I just said, I don't know what I can say to get anywhere, to get any further with this, and I'm talking, and what I was trying to say without getting at it was that you're not getting me, obviously, because you're not taking into consideration my situation and my needs and these kinds of things, right? And yeah, so then that's pretty much where it went off. And so yeah, and I just said, you've been very. It's I don't know if we have much further. I really appreciate talking to someone, but I don't know if we can go further. And so then he closed. Then he said he would close it off. Um, um, but it wasn't really what I wanted. I wanted I wanted just somebody to talk to at a different time when I wasn't in the middle of something, and then also someone to be like ask me in advance if it was okay to bring somebody to our one-on-one meeting.
Yeah. I mean, in the end, I think that's okay. I mean, so the door is open for you to be referred back there, and I'm happy to do that. I do think Dr. Roberts himself, anyway, was in his previous notes, previous to the last time, um, starting to wind down anyway, because it was pretty
Okay.
clear that
Okay.
you couldn't go there indefinitely anyway.
Yeah. 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 The challenge was I couldn't really get into anything with meat on it in terms of what might be traumatizing me or might be causing me challenges, because I knew it might be a month we talked to him, might not be if I wasn't feeling well that day. And on top of that, um, our rapport wasn't the best. It was like, it was kind of, when I asked him if I could talk about things pertaining to my childhood, he kind of didn't really want to go there. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, what are we talking about? My pain? How do I deal with pain? Well, that has to do with trauma in my background. Perhaps, maybe we can
Yeah.
at least talk about that. So right off the
Yeah.
bat, it was like, what were we talking about?
Yeah, so I think really what you benefit from Ramallah is more intensive psychotherapy. So like an actual counselor. So Dr. Roberts is actually a psychiatrist. He's a medical doctor,
Right,
and his main role is actually to give uh, sort of medication recommendations
right,
regarding mental health as it relates to chronic pain. So he's an
right.
embedded psychiatrist within the
That's what
chronic
he
pain
said.
program.
That's what he said. Yes.
But that's kind of it. Psychiatrists are not necessarily psychotherapists. They're not really trained to
No.
counsel people. Now, the tricky part is what you need and what I think you want out of a therapeutic relationship does not really exist in the public system.
Okay.
There's
Fair enough.
there's maybe some options, or like there's definitely some like low cost counseling options we can try and get you connected to, even while we're waiting for you to have access to counseling here.
Okay. Okay.
Um, but yeah, there isn't really anything that I think is gonna be like really what you need without having to pay a lot of money for it, basically. Like, I think in my mind, from listening to what you're talking about, I'm like, oh, you would really benefit from a psychotherapist trained in trauma, trained in potentially treating people with PTSD, someone trained in, you know, somatic work and maybe like understanding chronic pain specifically.
Yeah.
And those people exist. Those types of clinicians exist, but their going rate is something like $150 to $200 an hour,
Uh.
which
Yeah.
is right?
I might be qualified after I deal with all this, but it's hard to. Yeah, it's hard to find somebody to talk to at that level of
Yeah,
qualification.
yeah, and it needs to be the right fit. As you said, like rapport is quite important. You need to feel like okay, this person understands you, is seeing you at the same level, and is willing to go there with you and go and talk about those things that you feel are important and that I
Well,
agree are probably important to the process.
I think it's just really storytelling. I don't really. I've burned through a lot of traumas in my life in terms of dealt with it, been through it, and yeah, you'd be surprised. I'm just gonna do it tell my story on YouTube. I've been saying that for a while, but that's what I'm gearing toward.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I just have to get get the voice and the courage. But I'm sure you can tell by talking to me that things have changed. I'm not I'm evolving in terms of my ability to talk and the way that I would talk and tell it, and sort of what um, plan I would take. So it would be nice to get somebody, but maybe I'll be able to afford it at some point. Anyway, I'm not saying that I wouldn't be able to. So I I don't know. We'll
Yeah.
see what happens. Yeah, we'll see what
Yeah,
happens.
I think that's reasonable. Um, and like if you want, I can still have our team reach out with some low cost options.
Yeah, that would be great.
If you want, yeah. Okay. While you're waiting, I think if you can get in with anybody at this point, I think that's better than nothing and just waiting.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, for sure.
yeah. Now the other referral you wanted to a Dr. Lau.
That again was having to do with the medication.
Okay.
And again, you're my primary doctor, so you're gonna know more before anybody what I'm gonna take and what I'm not gonna take. Those, Dr. Lau, I do want to stay in touch with him. I don't know where we're gonna go because I don't want to go. We've already covered that, been over that bridge. But I just, and you and I in conversation a few minutes ago about
Yeah.
medications and where I'm at right now and where I want to be. So I certainly don't see myself, jumping up anytime soon. I hope not. I pray to God
Okay.
that that's not
Um,
necessary.
did
But
you see
yeah,
Dr. Lau
what's that?
previously? You saw Dr. Lau previously?
I did see Dr. Lau previously, yes.
What's their first name?
I don't recall. Again, I think we concluded at the point where he was gonna suggest stronger meds, and I didn't want to do it, so he said, I don't know that there's anything further that I can do for you.
Okay.
And I was like, well, okay. But at the same time, it doesn't mean that I don't want to stay in touch with them. It just means that at this time, even though I'm telling you and I'm complaining about my pain level, I'm not ready to go up.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's reasonable. So maybe we hang on. We don't refer right now. That makes sense. Um,
Okay.
the only thing that I guess we could add to this at the moment, like, if just the idea of like, do you think trialing an anti-anxiety or anti-depression medicine might be worth it at some point?
No.
Okay, and that's fine. I think like you
I don't
did
have
that.
that problem. I'm never depressed, I wouldn't say. I'm sometimes fearful, uh,
Yeah.
but generally optimistic and joking and attempting to be cheerful with everybody around me. So, yeah.
Sometimes taking a medication like that can help sort of in a roundabout way with pain. Not always though.
Yes, for sure. I'm
So
sure.
I think of it more as a like adjunct to pain control strategy than a treatment for outright depression or anxiety. But I know that adding medications to the make exactly the opposite direction you want to be going in.
Yeah,
Um,
that's for
I,
sure.
yeah, I think I'll periodically maybe throw that out to you, but I think
Yeah, please, no problem. Yeah.
I respect that you at this point not feeling like that's the right call.
I tried it at one point. I tried to do loxetine and something called nortriptyline or something. Some doctors, some medications that were prescribed, uh, they tended to like interact with the other medications that I was taking and have an impact on the nerve tingling and stuff in ways that I was confused, let's say, by, and didn't want to add, like you said, add to the mix what I was already trying to wrap my head around. If that makes sense.
Yeah. That makes sense. Okay. Um, yeah. And I will say I did review some of those articles you sent me the last time we spoke, and have reviewed them, and that was interesting to me. I think that um, again, not really like um, overall changing my like prescribing practices there, but I think it's worth considering. Like, yep, some people may just want to and need to come off very, very slowly on gabapentin, and maybe think twice before you jack up someone's dose.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I felt like that. Yeah, certainly when I was reading that, it really echoed what you were communicating to me. That like, yeah, you're feeling like this has been just exceptionally difficult for you to be on, and then also simultaneously exceptionally difficult for you to come off.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Yeah, and I feel like I ramped up at a time in my life when I was dealing with a lot of like highly stressful situations, and they caused me to need it, if you can say that, by in a roundabout way, causing my nerve pain was happening, but I was confused by it, and the other things around me were stressing me, so the AD was ramping up, and then the gabapentin was prescribed. So then when it went up, it just interacted by increasing the nerve pain, or and you know, if perhaps there was no way around it, I don't know, or I had, but that's just how I kind of analyze it right now.
yeah, no, that makes sense. Okay.
So yeah, I'm
Yeah.
in a, a daily a daily um, struggle, you could say, but also like I do feel like I'm making headway.
Yeah.
At least with all the external, I'm eating well. I have good
Yeah.
care. I'm getting my finances slowly in order. I yeah, I'm working on things that I want to do with my time, and productive ways that slowly but surely could end up adding. It's just this thing with my legs, you know, that
Mm,
I pray about a lot. So you never
yeah.
know. God's capable of anything, and
Right.
we don't really know what He has planned. So that's the thing. Things happen,
Yep.
and you just accept them when they do, and be thankful and happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Um, and then for medication, Samala, do you need refills of anything right now, or are you just gonna
I
have
don't
some
know how I'm
back?
doing on the hydromorph, but I had quite a stockpile there. But probably should get a refill. I don't know. I still have plenty. I'll just say that. But
Yeah, you know what? Maybe when your next medications get delivered, or when you start to notice you're running a bit low, maybe talk to your pharmacist. And if you don't have any more refills on file, just have them fax me, and we can refill it at that time.
okay, okay.
Yeah, because I
And
think
I
sometimes
haven't I haven't taken any of the lorazepam in like 2 or 3 months. Uh,
no, that's really good. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. So I haven't. I've been keeping that under control, and maybe yeah, I'm still holding back on the hydromorph. I just don't wanna. I don't wanna
yeah.
do it.
And it sounds like you're using that really, really rarely as well.
It is. It is. Yeah.
Yeah, which is fine. I think I trust you to take that when you need it. It works, which is a good thing. Um, in your case, but yeah, you let me know when you need more of it. I would say maybe
Okay.
will get through it. Okay. Yeah, if it comes from the pharmacy.
There was some kind of cream that I was supposed to get for my legs. Um,
Yeah, I think that's from Dr. Krasikov.
yeah, I don't know what happened to that. I'll call the pharmacy about it.
Yeah, you can check in with them. The only thing about that I think that might be the issue is its cost. So
Oh
they would
yeah,
have this
that's right. I
compound
find.
and it's not covered. It was a combination of ketamine, lidocaine, amitriptyline. It sounded
Oh yeah, that's right.
promising, but it's like you have to. I'm sure it's like so much money for a tiny tube.
I see.
But maybe talk to your pharmacy about it because Dr. Krasikov would have sent that prescription in back in January, and they can maybe give you a quote for how much it costs.
Okay.
Okay,
There was
and then
another medication that's. I'm trying to find it. Oh, there it is. It was in the Spin, which is a spinal cord injury medication here in Vancouver, and miracle drug for pressure sores. Some new medication for pressure sores. I want. Wait. Let me zoom in. Wake up. Wake up. Zoom in. Zoom in. It's called AMICAPSIL. Have you heard of it? Can you check it out?
could you spell it for me again?
AMICAPSIL. I'll pay for it if I have to.
Oh, I see. Okay, okay. This must be. Okay. Give me a second. I've not heard of it before, but
Yeah, it's really new. It was just in this month's issue of The Spin, which is a local disability magazine
yeah, it's
put out by the Spinal Cord Injury BC.
interesting. Okay, it is.
Supposed to be really good.
Yeah, it's like some kind of. It's called a micropore particle technology, which basically like helps your immune system at the level of the wound bed. So at the level of the ulcer where the skin is broken down
Mm-hmm.
by like restoring your natural microbiology. So like those bacteria that are supposed to be there, it kind of helps keep it there. Is my understanding.
Uh huh.
Yeah. So anyway, it sounds very interesting. And so you have that in your possession.
No, I wanted to ask you to write a prescription for me, or I'll ask the nurses too, the wound nurse, when next time I see them or talk to them.
I don't know if it's available in Canada. I see articles from the States about it, but
This was in our local magazine here, just yesterday, or this. Oh yeah, my friend sent it to me.
yeah, I mean, certainly we can try that.
I would love to. I still I'm keeping control of them, but my skin is so delicate.
Yeah, let me look into it a little bit more because I actually have never prescribed this and literally
Okay.
know about it, but it does seem to have pretty widespread use. I just want to make sure that I'm not missing something around safety or contraindications or anything. I don't
Okay.
think so, but yeah, I've actually found the issue of the spin that you're talking about. I think.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, okay, Nirmala, I will look into that. And maybe next time we talk, I will prescribe it for you, and I'll probably touch base with your nurses about how your wounds are working.
Okay.
You go ahead with that. Okay. That sounds good. And then I would say
Okay.
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 Okay. Great. Nice to speak to you today. I hope you have a good rest of your day and a nice weekend.
All right. Thanks, Michael.
Okay. You take care.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye.